Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. I am honored to bring to you Michael Cabrin from MK Barz. And Michael, hello. How are you doing this evening?
Good. How are you?
All right. Actually, it's probably afternoon where you're at.
It is afternoon. It's evening to you. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Yes, indeed. And we are going to be interviewing Michael and talk about his products and his interest. But with a couple of house rules here before we begin. As you know, this is part of my continuing series on interviewing bullion dealers. And although technically MK Barz wouldn't be classified as a bullion dealer, they do sell silver, specialty silver products, and they also distribute them as well. So I'm very honored that we can do this interview with Michael. And the other thing, as far as ground rules are concerned, is that we want to, as is the case when we do interview, I'll ask a series of questions first. And then after my series of questions are over, we want to hear from you guys. So I'll let you know when that time comes, and I'm going to give you special characters to type before your questions so that I can see them. And so stay tuned for that. So we will not take any questions from the audience yet, but we will. We want to hear from you. And the other ground rule is we also want to hear. We want you to be free to be able to ask what you want. So if you have anything that you have a question that you think would be a challenging question or a critical question, go ahead and ask it, as long as you're respectful. That's the thing. We want to make sure and keep this respectful. Michael has agreed to do this interview and to be able to take all kinds of questions, and we appreciate all kinds of questions. But we want you to be respectful in your asking of those questions. Because he is putting himself out here, and we want to be able to respect him. So, with that being said, any kind of trolling or anything like that I normally would be okay with is fine normally in my live streams, as long as it's just directed towards me. But I would appreciate you not to do that towards my guest, and also not to troll other members of the community here. So we like to have fun on my regular live stream. It's very laid back. This is a little bit different because we're interviewing. This is for information purposes, and we want to learn about a member of the community who sells precious metals products, and get you guys to know him and him to know you. And we're all here to learn and be together. We're all on the same team. We want to be able to provide a service for both Michael and for you guys. So that's what it's about. So I hope you enjoy this, and hope we can learn. So very good. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and start. And Michael, thank you again. So my first question is it's a personal question, if you don't mind. And that is, what got you into precious metals?
Well, first of all, I want to say thanks for having me, and thanks everybody for showing up, and I really appreciate it. It's an honor to be on your channel, and I'm really enjoying talking to people in the community that maybe I never would have before. But what got me into this? When I was a little, probably around 12 years old, a friend got me into coin collecting, and we used to walk or ride our bikes or skateboard to the local coin shop. And I fell in love with coins. I fell in love with the artwork of coins. I started with the Franklin half dollar, and quickly realized that while I couldn't grade too well, I probably should let my friend do it. So over the years, I tried to grade better and do what I could, and I moved on to my favorite series, which is U.S. early commems. And I like them because of the artwork involved. When I was little, I tried to do a commemorative one of those drawings for to have the mint produce it, and I didn't make it. But my love for coin collecting, and what brought me into this eventually, was the coin collecting and the people involved. And I learned early on from older people. Now I'm older, but people that were older than me, and about grading, about coins, and about the services, and about the history of coins. So that's kind of what brought me into it.
Wow.
Going on kind of a long time, but fast forward to not too long ago, and I always bought and sold Silver Eagles on eBay. Not bought, but sold them.
Right.
And I was in the car business. I managed car dealerships for many, many years. And it just became too much as I got older, working every holiday, every weekend. And so I wanted to go on my own. And I saw a little company called Scottsdale Mint, which is not so little anymore,
Right.
YPS. And I said, hey, private mints, that's what I want to do. So I got one furnace, and I got the graphite molds that are your typical standard squares and rounds and hearts. And I got a stamp from Infinity Stamps, bought it, and I started stamping my stuff in my garage. And made a quick cold call to AppMex, who was my first wholesale client, and they picked up the product. So I had to then move really quick into production.
Right.
So the rest is history from there.
Wow, fascinating. Well, thank you. That's an amazing, and so you just really enjoy the art and the beauty that goes into a lot of these products. And those classic commemorative half dollars are amazing. We have
Yeah, they're beautiful. They're incredible. The art, the detail on them are just
yeah,
incredible.
we have a YouTuber here called Half Dollar One, and he's collected all of them. I've watched him grow that series, and it's been fascinating to see. And again,
Beautiful.
hello to everybody joining us. We've got a lot of good folks in here, and I've got to give a quick shout out to Silver Wolverine. I'm slurping on some Tim Hortons. Thanks to you, buddy. Thank you.
Important. Hey, Silver over it. Hi,
Tim.
guys. Can I say a shout out real quick to a few people?
Yes, you sure can. Yeah.
Well, besides everybody, I want to give a shout out to Laura Blade. I worked with her for a long time. The
Yes.
Colonel. I don't know if he's on here.
Yep. He was on here.
Idrisan.
Yep.
Harris Ravenhill, Stacky Nerd, and all the ISS guys and the whole community
Awesome.
and everybody that supported us. I really appreciate it.
Awesome.
It's
Yeah.
been a fun run.
Definitely good to see you guys. Appreciate you guys being here for sure. Yes, and is neat. That is neat. You've worked with members of the community in the past,
Yes.
with the different bars and things. And I think that's great. Eric, our resident bouncer, our moderator, is here. Thank goodness. Thank you. Good to see you, Eric. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks, Eric.
Well, very good. So that leaves sort of answering part of my next question to you, and that is how you got started. So we kind of got to how you got started, and what you have done is you've started producing these things in your garage, but then you needed to grow. So the AppMex account kind of drew you to the next level. Can you explain that process?
Yeah. I got overzealous in what I was doing, and I was excited, and I was producing rough samples of what my mentors, YPS and Scottsdale Mint, were doing, to name a few. There are others. There weren't that many others at the time.
Right.
There was Prospectors Golden Gems and Atlantis Mint. Other than that, I don't recall too many, at least from a commercial standpoint. So I got overzealous. I started making them, and they looked kind of cool. And so I said, hey, I'm going to make a business out of this. So I started driving Uber after I quit my job.
Right.
And I started doing this in my garage at night, and when I wasn't driving Uber, until the business became viable and started taking off. And one day I picked up the phone and said, I really want to make this something bigger. And I want to appeal to people and bring this out into the communities and make a product and brand myself. So I reached out to AppMex, they picked it up, and then I was really scrambling. I was scrambling for more furnaces, for more molds, for more stamps, for presses, and eventually had to get my wife involved. She was pouring with me. We were both pouring. We were stamping, and my daughter's boyfriend got involved. My daughter, and here we are today.
Wow.
Three foundries later, we're in our biggest one now, which is about 1,250 square feet, and it's still never ending. We're still trying to grow. We're still trying to move the needle. And eventually, maybe in 10 years, I'll stop this and see where the products go from there. But it's been fun, and I really enjoy it. My best part of it is designing.
Right.
These guys are out there right now stamping, and I've been playing with designing. So
Wow.
that's my baby, is all the designs. And I really don't like pouring as much anymore. It's
Right.
tough. And Joey's better than I am now.
Yeah.
I mean, man, the guy's doing 3D sand casting, and we've all taught ourselves by YouTube videos. So
Right.
everybody before us who did bits and pieces, I have to give a shout out to and a thank you to, because without that, without YouTube University, I wouldn't have been able to do anything. I'd still be driving an Uber back in the car business.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. And so YouTube really has brought a lot of this together, and as far as how it connects us in different ways, and how people can use that to either train to be able to help your business, or to help
It-
market. I mean, it's really amazing. It really is cool.
Yeah,
It's a great community for sure. That's
it
great.
is. It is. If I don't get all you guys on the left-hand side, I'm watching all the comments. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
All you guys, it's great seeing you guys, or hearing you guys, or watching your feed. See my face, it's great. I wanted to, I wanted everybody to know who I was, and Salivate Metal gave me the opportunity to be able to come out here and just talk and be myself.
Right. Awesome. Well, we appreciate it. And yes, indeed. Very good. So with that being said, can you tell us about the first piece that you poured that you've sold? Do you still
Yeah,
have that piece? You know, some people put the first dollar they earn and they frame it and put it on the wall. Do you have a first piece that you?
I do. The first stamp piece, to go back there, was the little square, and it had my old stamp on it. That was MK Barz and Bullion. It was from Infinity Stamps, and it had the
Okay.
yin and yang sign on it.
Okay.
It was on little bars or little squares
Right.
and some
Cool.
rounds. I
Yeah.
don't do those anymore, but the one that's a little square that Atmex recently stopped doing, maybe a year ago, Silver Slacker likes to buy because I antique them, was a little square with two skulls on it, and it just has MK Barz at the bottom there. I don't know if anybody remembers that. It's a little square with two skulls on it.
Yeah. On the thumbnail at the for the announcement video yesterday, I put a bar on there that just has the MK Bar's old logo on it, which is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Pretty neat. Awesome. Well, very good.
Very basic, bare bones.
But still, that's you got the name out there and you're doing well.
Yes.
So what would you say would be some of the most complicated pieces you've done?
Well, the most complicated pieces that I've ever done would be lost wax process pieces, which, I mean, I brought some today. I don't know if it's the time to show them,
Yeah.
but it's a whole process. And I know guys are sand casting, but the lost wax process, my brother-in-law has done these resins.
Yeah.
And,
Very nice.
we pay him. He used to work for Warner Brothers. I don't know if you can see those. I know you said to put your hands behind it, but if I
Yeah.
do, they'll drop.
Right. No, that's fine. I think we can see them pretty good there. Yeah.
This is a small series that we started doing for Provident. It's their Zombuk series, and they're extremely hard to do because you have to cut off these sprues. He tried to make sprues here, the arms to the legs, and that's where the metal flows in. So it flows in upside down, and then after you get it out of the investment in the water, it becomes this white piece of silver from all the powder.
Right.
And then you have to cut off those screws and all. And if you have the metal too hot, or you don't heat in the furnace your investment properly, it burns right through it. So you ruin a piece. And it's expensive. Investment powder is expensive.
Right.
So I would say, to answer your question quickly, it's the art of the lost wax. That was the hardest and the most time consuming for me.
Yeah. Wow, crazy. Yeah, I understand. Well, there's a lot of risk with that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I've stopped doing that. Now we do mainly just sand casting.
Right.
There's companies out there that are doing it, and the labor is inexpensive for the reasons that they have, and just can't compete with that. But it's fun. I still have the pieces. I still have still have these guys. This is this was on Provident for a while. That's the Walking Liberty.
Yep.
And this is the little Organ. I don't know.
Yeah, no, we can see that actually. Yeah, that's
there you go. There's the face.
Yeah, that's cool.
That never made it out, but I have some.
Yeah, that's awesome. For those just joining us, some of them are asking about the rules. Rather than go through them all again, you might want to rewind to the very beginning and watch real quick. But basically, we're taking questions from the audience later. I'll let you know when, and I'll tell you how to ask the question, what characters to put so that I can see the questions. But we're not quite there yet, folks. So just hang tight. But anyways, yeah, so very cool. So one thing about MK Barz that I think does separate in some ways is that you do designing. You design and you cut your own dies essentially. And can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah.
Because that is important because of the amount of different products you offer.
The dies and the molds. Yeah, I was originally paying people upwards of $100 a mold to cut a small graphite mold, and a stamp was like $375. And I use specific companies. I won't go into the names. But I learned a long time ago, if I don't start doing it myself, I'm going to go out of business because it's a fortune.
Right.
You know, I have a die that was cut by somebody who's $1,000, and it's just like, wow. So I started getting on YouTube again and learning about CNC machines and learning about fiber laser engravers. That's mine behind me, the fiber laser engraver.
Oh,
CNC
yeah.
machines, we got a couple out there, and I started learning how to cut into graphite blocks. And the block just looks like this, and then when you cut into it, I don't like that one. When you cut into it, you know, there's like a little frog.
Yeah.
You'll get a STL file is what it's called. You'll take that to a computer program. You'll invert it into a block square, which represents the block graphite mold, and you'll subtract it from it. And there you have, it looks like this, basically. It's virtual on a computer. I think I sent you a video of it.
Yeah.
And you send it to your machine, and the bit just goes and cuts it out for you, and you have it ready for you to pour the product into. And that's how we make our products.
Nice.
I do that daily. And then, you know, I try to make something for JM Bullion, but they don't have our products anymore. But I was making little squares, and we do custom pieces for other companies.
Okay.
So I will make lots of stamps, and stamps I don't use anymore. But this is our exclusive stamps for the ISS.
Okay.
One
Cool.
of them. Some of them are lasered.
Right.
Yeah, so I started teaching myself this. I invested in machines and started paying monthly lease payments.
Right.
And there you go. From there on out, I just started doing everything in house.
Right. It's amazing. It's something else. It's amazing what goes into it, and the investment and the resources and the time for sure. That's awesome. Very cool. Let's see. I was going to ask you a follow up from that as far as the different kinds of products you have. I know you do some limited run things even before the subscription programs.
Right.
What kind of limited funds or limited run type of products do you do that has been really successful, and what kinds have you done that have not been so successful for you?
Yeah, I've done some pretty ugly ones that haven't been successful, and so the population report on those is 2 or 3, and they'll tell me, hey, that's not your best work, and so I'll get rid of it. I've done some ones that are really, really successful, and those mostly have sold out through the likes of AppMex, and I've done for Provident Metals, their whole little, I had a little Texas with a star in the middle, and we've done, you know, these bison 3D statues. Those things have sold out really quick. We sold out of these. I think these are on AppMex for a while. These are our little skull.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Union and Confederate soldiers. Yeah, so those are some of the things we sold out of, and the mintages on those are like 50. I have a lot of the ones we do mintages on the standard commercialized bars are about 500. So some are sold out, some aren't, and some went to rest in drawers, and we've retired the molds and stuff.
Right. That's cool. Awesome. Let's see here. All right. Sorry, I had to time somebody out. Anyways, all right. Very good. Awesome. Well, very cool. So, do you have a number of the different type of product? I mean, how many different offerings do you have like right now?
Right now, we have over 600. We started with 2 or 3, and once I started getting a CNC machine, we started expanding quickly.
Right.
So I probably average about 2 to 3 new products a day.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah,
Cool. All right. Well, the last question I have is the subscription programs.
yeah,
Now, for those of you who don't know, there's things out there like Loot Crate, and there's another one kind of big name that are general subscription programs where you basically it's kind of becoming an in thing now. In different communities and different situations, I've seen some silver channels actually post some of these Loot Crate unboxings where you don't know what you're going to get from month to month. Can you talk about how your subscription programs started? Because you have two now. You've got your exclusive program, exclusive
right.
stacker program, and then you have the International Silver Syndicate. Can you
Right.
describe what was the mindset behind those and how you got started with those?
Yeah, I mean, basically, we all learn from everybody, and I saw some companies up there like Investicrate,
Hmm.
and I said, look, I wanted to start my own. I thought maybe it'd be really cool, and each month I can design something new. So I started my own, and put up a video. Silver Slacker put up a video, and it grew really quick overnight. Today we have about 35 total. There's three different subscription packages.
Right,
Uh, the top one, which is 8 ounces, has 17. The Extreme Stacker has 17 monthly subscribers, 35 in total. So I figured, look, this is growing really well. It gives me an opportunity to create constantly because each month is a different piece. So
right,
that keeps me busy. Each month we'll have a different piece, and so I'm constantly thinking, what can I do? So I thought maybe I'd get involved in the communities, and I started with Instagram because that's where I post all my new products.
right,
And the guys on there, I reached out to about 12 of them. Some are very popular, even on YouTube, Instagram, and they didn't want to do it. And it stemmed because Big Boulder, Colorado, had a bar with about 12 guys on it.
right,
Um, and and he said, why isn't your stamp on this? I guess he won a bar. And I said, no one asked me. So um, because of that, I started reaching out and say, hey, let's get together. Let me make your artwork. Let me do everything, and I'll pay you a monthly licensing fee. And so just so I can have other people involved, and they can make something from it too. And it didn't work out. They didn't want to do it, and some went a different way. One now is doing a subscription box with another person. So I reached out to YouTube, and I figured, look, YouTube is probably a community where there might be more people involved in it, and maybe that will work. And I reached out to a bunch of you, and you wanted to do it, and we started it, and it started from there.
right, right. Cool. All right. Awesome. And those who don't know, again, part of this program, part of both programs, I guess, is that you're gonna get surprises each month, and I think that's kind of a neat, for those that are into that thing, into that type of thing of what be surprised in what you may get. And with the International Silver Syndicate, which is what he was talking about,
Right.
it's a 7 channels plus MK bars, and there's 1 ounce, 2 ounce, a 5 ounce, and then there's 4 different packages there, right, for the
Right.
International
Just
Syndicate.
the last package has one bar from each package. So the 5 ounce, the 2 ounce, and the 1 ounce is
Okay,
8 ounces. The five
right,
ounce bar changes every month.
right,
Um, I left the channel bars, and what I do on those every month is the last month was a little gear, a little tool gear that I stamped in as a privy mark. So I'll stamp those in privy marks. I'll make a new stamp every month, and each month will be the same channel bar, but I'll have a different privy mark. When it comes to
right,
the 5 ounce bar, that has all of our names lasered on the back, and the artwork changes every single month. And there's only like 3 of those right now. So the people that have those 5 ounce bars, it's really
right.
limited. It's really limited, which is cool. I'm happy for them.
Very cool. And for those of you, I'm gonna pull mine out. This is what my 1 ounce bar looks like.
It's not X-rated, is it? What are you pulling out?
No, no, it's not X-rated.
All right, all right. I just joking.
There it is. That's the 1 ounce bar from the International Silver Syndicate. For those that sign up, you can get if I can get the focus here. There it is, and
There you go.
kind of cool. He carved this stamp out, and then that's the obverse, and I still have in the plastic package here, and then we've got the reverse of the piece. And this is the common, and each month is a different privy mark on it. So
right. So yours will probably be go right there in the corner where there's nothing, and each month it'll change. So you're going to be collecting channel bars, and then you may get the same channel bar because it's random. You might get Salivate Metal with a gearhead, and you might get Salivate Metal with a heart or a frog or you know the year stamped on it. Who knows, the month, anything.
I think
Whenever
there's
I find,
a kitty. I see a
huh?
kitty privy mark, a little kitty.
Yeah, we'll do a kitty for you.
And,
We'll do a
and make
kitty,
sure
we'll
that it
do a
goes
dog.
on the bar, so my
Yeah,
cat can go on even silver bean counters. But no, I'm kidding. But
right.
that'd be funny.
You can
All
put a
right.
little bean on them for silver bean counter, and then we can
Yeah,
put a little guitar for losing Louis,
exactly. There you
and
go.
so forth and so on.
Right, right. Well, very good. Well, cool. Well, I think that is all I have. And because I think people are itching to ask some questions, and so we're
Sure.
going to take some questions from the audience. And here
Sure.
is the rules for the questions. And I'll go over the ground rules again. Be respectful in your questions. It's okay to um, um, ask tough questions. We'll take them. And if it's something that's obviously, he doesn't feel comfortable answering, he doesn't have to. Michael doesn't have to answer, but he'll let us know. We'll be as open as we can here. And but before you ask a question, I want you to put in the caret sign, 2 carats. That's this. Hopefully it'll work. Last time I said dollar signs and it didn't work out. It's the shift 6. Well, let me get on here.
F6.
Shift 6. Put in 3 carats before your question. 3 carats.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay, that's cool.
And so, so here we are. So Yankee Stacking's got the first one. And how we're going to do this is, depending on how many questions we get, Michael, you might want to answer relatively quickly so we can get to as many questions as possible. But here's Yankee Stacking. Michael, what criteria did you and your team use to narrow down and select candidates for your initial channel pieces? Okay.
The first piece of criteria I used were people that have bought from me as MK Barz, and I wanted to give back to them. So Silver Bean Counter has done business with me, Losing Louis, a few other people, and so I wanted to get them involved. And then I looked at people that did their own pouring or had a coin or something like you do, Sal.
Right.
And then after that, I kind of mixed it up with channels who had the most subscribers and also who was up and coming and really cool and had the least subscribers. I reached out to a few people. One of them was a client of mine, but she said that she's really busy making videos and she makes really awesome videos. So I know that was too much. And I couldn't. I wanted to go many more and I couldn't. There were a couple that I've known for a while that they just didn't want to get involved because they didn't want the heat of the feedback, what actually did happen. So they predicted it right off the bat.
Right.
Which I didn't because my MK Barz subscriber channel, there was no issue with that, no problem. People just said, hey, look, it's more expensive than than what I want to spend.
Sure.
I collect for weight, I don't collect for art, things like that, which was understood. I think when we came out with this, I don't know what happened, but it kind of got a little out of control. And really, my feeling on this was I wanted to represent, maybe like a band manager would with bands. I wanted to represent channels and people that were pouring that were smaller. And who knows, maybe I can get them up into AppNext and it would commercialize them. But some people said, I don't want to grow that large. Some people said, I don't want to get involved in that. I want to pour my own stuff. I don't want you to do it for me, things of that sort. So people came in and went as they did. And I branched out and reached out to a lot of people. But to answer his question exactly, it was kind of random. Just, hey, who do I know? And I think I asked somebody else, who do you know that might want to be interested in this? And that's why I reached out.
Cool. All right. Awesome. All right. The Silverback Stacker asks, funny, what's your mother's maiden name? Iron maiden name. All right.
Mother's maiden name?
Yeah.
I can't give you that because then you'd be able to break in all my credit cards and stuff.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah. I think he's just joking there. All right. Let me see. I'm going to try to catch.
Her name is MK.
All right. Oaksy put actual 3 carats. It's shift and 6, by the way. But what's the biggest piece you've made? That's a good question. What's the biggest piece you've made?
I made a 92-ounce skull.
Wow.
and that was done with the lost wax. And I have no idea what the heck I'm going to do with it because I can't crush it in my 100-ton press. I want
Right.
it when I run low on silver. I need other silver. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty cool. It's just a big honking skull.
Cool. Corn Dog 42 just wanted to say hello. Hello, Corn Dog. Thank you.
Hi,
So,
Corn Dog. Sorry about the mix-up earlier, brother.
where Silver Saver asked, I'm a newly subscriber to ISS.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Congratulations and thank you. After receiving the 8 channel,
Thank you.
what is next? Can I move to another subscription at any time?
Yeah. I mean, we have one of our own that goes in and out, depending on if he likes the 5-ounce bar I make. So
Right.
I won't mention any names, but yeah, you can transfer any subscription level. I believe Adrasan it transferred up or went up to a different level, and you can come in and go out as you please. That's up to you. But also got to keep in mind, if you are on the extreme stacker, you are one of the numbered bars, you'll lose your number.
Oh,
So
right.
anybody else that wants to come up, let's say they're number 10 or number 17, we're at 17 on the extreme stacker, they'll go, let's say 2 drops out, they'll drop the number, 3 will drop to 2, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you'll go to the back of the line. So that's the only way I know how to do it, to give people the benefit of being there so long and spending the money to give them little perks.
Cool. What's the best Electropig Monfukengruven? I love that name. Says
Pronounce it now?
What's that?
You pronounce it right now. That was fun.
Yeah, I think I pronounced it right. What's the best way to antique a poured piece? Great question.
Well, that's interesting. That was a development for me. I got liver of sulfur, little pellet. They weren't pellets; they're like rocks, and I put them in water and melted them, and threw the pieces in a bucket and left them there for hours. And it was a hassle getting the black off. So then I quickly found Cool Tools. They had a gel, a patina gel. They mix with a little water, but it's liquid. And that too, I had to dunk the whole piece, and it was a hassle to take the black off. So now I use Griffith's Silver Black. It's a little yellow solution, and all we do is we take a paintbrush, dip it in, and put it in the crevices that we want to antique. So much easier. It saves so much more time.
Right.
I guess people were putting them in with eggs and stuff. I don't know what people were doing, but
Yeah.
It took me a while. With everything we've done, we've kind of learned by watching others and then failing or succeeding, and we've taken the long route to try and get to the short route.
Right.
That's all involved. So Griffith Silver Black is what we use now. It's not inexpensive. It's more expensive, but it's less time consuming, and that stuff really smells. So we use less of it, and it works out better for us.
Cool. Great. Silver Mana wants to know, do you get your silver straight from the silver mine?
No, I don't want to go to jail like some of these other companies.
Yeah, exactly.
The stuff behind me, I don't know if you can see it. I'll move out the way. This right here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Wow.
not 500. This is, I don't know, it's probably about 200 ounces left in here, but this is Royal Canadian Mint.
Nice.
That brings us into another subject. We're using Republic metals for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they took us down, and we're still trying to get our silver back. We were out of money, just like a lot of other people. And so I had to hire an attorney in New York, and they put in with the court that they didn't want them liquidating all the prepaid metals.
Right.
I know I'm going to get a fraction of my money on the dollar. So I just want my package that was prepaid and prepackaged. So that's what we're working on. You just did a video earlier I was watching before I got on here.
Yep, and you were one of the 2 that I know that had money tied up in Republic Metal, so that's very good. Now, here's a question that you may not want to answer because it might put you on the spot. Spectacular asks, what's your favorite YouTube personality? Precious Metal Channels.
Wow. Well, my real favorites are the ones that I've been doing business for a long time because I know them as individuals.
Yeah.
My 2 biggest ones that are favorites of mine are probably yourself and Silver Slacker, and Hi Ho Silver I like, and Karis Ravenhill. She's had my products since almost the beginning.
Yeah, there's a lot of good folks in the community.
Yeah. Laura Blade, I make a lot of her products. I mean, she's awesome.
Videos again, by the way, which is great to see her.
She just started. You should sign up. You can sign up to mine, but I don't make good videos like everybody else. I think we got 600 subscribers, but
subscribe to Laura Blade here.
Laura Blade. Everybody should just jump back in there because when she goes big. And I've seen some of those gifts and those videos that she gives people. got a kind heart.
Oh, she
Very
really
generous.
does. She really
Very
does.
generous. And Karis makes the best videos in the world.
Oh
Karis
yeah,
Ravenhill.
Karis is amazing with her video.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
really, just simply, it's outstanding what she does. Yeah. Karis is a gem.
Oh, go ahead.
Moose Wizard wants to know, how was your trial and error process when you first started out? Failures, successes, first major triumph.
Okay, well, real quick, Andrew-san, he made some videos for me. I didn't even ask for them.
Yeah.
His channel's growing. I think he only has like 25 subscribers. So, and the Colonel, you know, they're doing my stuff. If you can support them, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, the Colonel's great.
Great people.
And Adri-san is amazing. He's got a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience, and he enjoys it, and he's a really good guy, definitely.
Yeah, he reached out to me and he asked me a million questions, and I love to talk to people who really are passionate about it. Yeah. So that's how I learned. So Adri-san, the Colonel, Laura Blake, Karis Ravenhill, all of you guys, anybody who's putting a channel out there, go watch them, support them.
Yeah. So Moose Wizard, about trial, we kind of talked about some of your trial and error process, but there's a lot of it in this business, isn't there?
There's a lot of errors. I've gone through so many stamps. You know, sometimes you'll do a stamp and you'll do it backwards, because you have to do the stamp backwards before when you stamp it, it comes out forward. So I've made a lot of costly money mistakes, just trying to find the right investment powder for the lost wax process, trying to find the right wax for the sprues, trying to find the right temperatures. I've burned so many out, and it's such a bummer. But yeah, there's so many trials and errors. I mean, I bought a little Star of David stamp from Weaver Industries.
Right.
And I figured I'd pour metal into it. Well, the middle of the stamp was raised, so you pour the metal into it, and you turn it over, and you have to hit it, and the middle comes out. So that was a bummer. I ruined it. So I started drilling out the center so I can fit an ounce in, pouring it, and then pushing it on, press and stamp in the back, and it came out better. Nice. But there's a lot of things with trial and error with every single process, from tumbling to antiquing, to the bits, the little bits that we use for sanding, to the mask that we use to keep the dust out. I don't use them, so you guys, hopefully it becomes a Rembrandt one of these days. I'm just joking. And if I pass away from all this graphite dust, is get black lung.
Oh man,
maybe some of the pieces will become rare. But
I hope not. I hope we've run around for a long time.
The girls use the mask, but Joe and I don't. We should.
Yeah, definitely.
It's really bad. There's a lot of dirt and dust.
Your health is the most important thing, for sure.
Right. Yeah.
Slacker Stacker's got a great question. He's a great member of the community, and people should subscribe to Slacker Stacker's channel too. Great.
He had a pretty cool dragon, his last piece. I don't know if he made, I think somebody else made it for him, the lost foam process. That was really cool.
Yeah.
It's really neat.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, definitely. His dragons are nice. He says, do you custom graphite molds for people? Is this part of your services that you've considered?
I do, but I only do it for people that I kind of like have known from the beginning. I don't want to get into that because there's no money in it. The designing takes about an hour to 2 hours. Then you have to cut it, and that's probably a 4 to 6 hour process. So it really is not cost effective. I'll do it. I'll do it for people that are like cool to me, and like I do it for the Colonel, and I don't know who else I've done it for. But yeah, I can, and I will, but it has to take a kind of a back seat to other stuff because we're so busy with designing. But I will, and I have.
That's cool. All right. We'll go through these questions a little bit quicker because they're piling up on us.
Sure.
Silver Leo, I think, just being funny here. Do you use stuffing mix or breadcrumbs in your meatloaf? That's a good.
I actually don't make meatloaf. I'm really bad. I go out and buy it. So I guess I like stuffing mix.
There you go. Awesome.
Yeah, I'll do stuffing mix. That's cool. With some egg. You ever put egg in there?
Yeah, egg is good.
Right in the middle of it?
Yeah, there you go.
Ketchup's good inside it, too. Yeah. You have to put on top.
All is one now. Do you sell the T-shirt that you're wearing?
Yeah, actually, my Extreme Stacker package, they get them free. Nice. But, along with the Pirate Box and a bunch of other things, discount codes.
Do you want to show it real quick? Can you get a good look? Maybe. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You see it?
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice.
I mean, these are the new ones. There's nothing on the back. The old ones had like our Mutiny at Sea stamp on the back, other things on the back. But yeah, I mean, we could sell them. I'd rather just give them away. I've given them away like on Instagram when I do giveaways, which I'll be doing one soon with coming up. We're going to have about 3,000 subscribers, so I'll give away probably like 10 ounces of silver. But I give them away there. I don't know why. I don't know how to charge for a T-shirt. I guess I can. There are groups, companies that'll do on Shopify, and people can order them. We can do that too. But I'd rather see people invest their money in the metal than shirts and stuff. So like I gave Silver Slacker a shirt, and I gave somebody one of my stream packages a couple extra shirts because they said they wear them all the time.
Right.
And then I send people out the wrong size. So they say, Sam, on the wrong size. So now they got a medium with an extra large. I give it to a friend.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. If you want a shirt, hit me up. The cost of them is probably like $10.
Okay. Yeah.
$10 and shipping.
All right.
Yeah, let me know. I'll be happy to send it out. Unless, of course, it's an order, a big order, I don't mind just giving it.
That's cool. That's cool. And very nice. Swernge Duck wants you to predict the weather for the state of Michigan if it's going to snow.
It's snowing now, isn't it?
Probably so.
Okay, so it's going to snow.
It's gonna snow. There you go. All right, let me get back up here. Again, 3 carats before your question, folks. And I'm just trying to catch up. I just lost my place. Man, I'm so behind on questions here. Let's see here. Yeah, Slacker Stacker says you did an awesome job on the Karis, Ravenhill, and Laura Blade bars. He has both now. Great.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
All right, let me find
that was their insight. I mean, that was their, hey, here's a picture of a raven, here's a picture of this, here's a picture, make me a dragon with a sword. I mean, the idea came from them. I just kind of pieced it together. So I really got to give them the credit. But they were pretty cool. Yeah, they came out good. They came out good. I was happy with those.
Nice. All right. Silverback Stackers being funny. Can you pour some silver in 998?
Sure. I'll just throw a little copper in it. Maybe it'll come down.
Right. Can you make custom pieces for YouTube channels like mine? Silver Stanger wants to know.
Sure. But at that point there, I have guys that are in the syndicate, so I'd have to make the channel bar, and then, if you don't pour, I'd pour it, and then people can order it directly through me for you, and I would, give you some money for the licensing of it. I don't know how that all works. How does that? I mean, I don't even know if Salivate. Did they do that with you with the mug, Salivate, or is that just something nice that people can help with the channel?
For the mug, that's through Teespring. Yeah, I did that through Teespring.
But do they give back to you or no?
What do you mean?
Like a little something. Thanks for the business. I don't know.
Oh yeah. I can make a little profit on it. Yeah. It's
I like to do that too. I mean, somebody else's bar on your channel. Now that I've been doing this, I'd rather give back to you when it's sold. So yeah, we can do that. Just hit me up.
Silver Saber wants to know, Michael, how much do you have invested in your business?
Wow, a lot. I started with 20,000 and driving an Uber, and it grew from there. But most of the investment is really the employee and the infrastructure and the molds and the dies. But I don't know. I can tell you probably.
It's continued.
Yeah, and everything I make, I put back in. So this fiber laser engraver behind me was 65,000 to give you an idea. And we have a commercial furnace. I think you'll show it on your video I sent you if you do that. So that was 13,000, and the cooler that keeps it cool was 4,000. So my press from Potter USA, if you need a press, is a 100-ton press. That was $6,000. So it becomes very costly, dies and stuff. So I don't even know. I got metal per month. I mean, you do 500-pound bags a shot, or 500-ounce bags a shot, and I get 3 or 4 every couple of weeks. So most of the money is in the metal, and employees' wages and machinery, and insurance and rent.
Right. Yeah. It's just a continual process. And by the way,
it keeps growing and snowballing. So I mean, I have to keep producing products to sell it to pay back the monthly leases on machines and equipment.
Sure. And just so you know, I'm going to be posting tomorrow probably a video that gives a tour of the operation there at MK Barz, and so stay tuned for that. I'll give you an idea. So let's see here.
I've got like probably 20 furnaces that are dead, There's a few in the film. I don't even have the tabletops anymore. But when I started, someone asked about your failures. When I started, I used tabletop furnaces, which a lot of the hobbyists use, and the coils are exposed. They would burn out constantly. I'd try and fix them. I'd send it back to tabletop. So we probably went through 8 or 10 of those, and then we did some other Chinese furnace that melted quicker, and the coils weren't exposed, but those broke as well. So then we went on to the Kerr, which are dental furnaces, and those were 1,000 a pop. They've now gone out of business with the dental furnaces. We still use them, and now we had to go to commercial furnace because they break. So we've probably gone through about 20 furnaces, and 500 to 1,000 a pop. That's a lot of money gone.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. I'm trying to find, if you guys can just ask serious questions for a while now, because I'm getting
Funny questions?
Yeah, let's see here. Okay, Adrian asked Mike, can you make a special 4-ounce piece with a pirate ship for the extreme stacker?
Yes, I just did. Didn't I do it? Oh, for the extreme stacker, I did it for the ISS. That was our first 5-ounce bar. Yeah, I can do that. I just made a profile of the pirate the other day. It was a 4-ounce piece that just went out in this last month. But yeah, we can do a pirate ship.
Jose Varelas asked, what books do you recommend for somebody that wants to start pouring? I think you somewhat answered that earlier.
Well, I don't use the books. I mean, I've got a bunch of books on like, it just shows pictures of like art bars and the mintages, things like that. I don't really know of anybody that's come out with a book that shows you how to pour. Your best bet, and especially for me, because I don't retain from reading, is to watch and do. That's how I learn. I watch it, and then I make errors, and I have to actually go through the process myself. But it really isn't hard, and I'll be happy to go over it with you if you want to email me. Just like questions like, do you have to preheat the graphite? Do you have to? What temperature does it melt at? And it's a process. I mean, those of you who pour on here, you'll know. I mean, the first ones you do, the metal flies out of the graphite. You got to learn how to position the graphite. You have to learn the heat, what to heat the mold. You have, where to put your, because I use a flame as I'm pouring. I use the crucible in one hand and the flame in the other hand to keep it either in the mold or to keep it pour, maybe moving to the right a little bit if the mold's hard to pour into. So you'll have to learn by doing, but we can go over the basics together. But YouTube channels, watch people pour. I'm going to try and do a little more of those as I have time. Or I did one the other day of Joey doing sand casting. He's become really good at 3D sand casting. On my site, I think it's like 8 minutes. It took him 8 minutes or something like that. And that's fast, going fast to sand cast. I don't even know what it was anymore, a skull or something.
Right.
But they're out there. They're out there. That's what I would suggest. All these guys on YouTube, support them, watch them, thumbs up if you can. I know people are into giving a lot of thumbs downs. It's not cool. I mean, especially for somebody that's trying to do the right thing, somebody trying to pour and maybe has a rough pour, give him a thumbs up, man. He's trying.
Yeah, very cool. All right. And Spectacular, I guess he's wanting to know how much would it cost approximately to create a channel bar?
That's a good question. Well, the first one's always the most expensive. When someone says I want 500, it's 499.
Right, right.
The number 2 to 500 are the cheapest ones, because the first one you have to do the design work on the computer. You got to send it to cut to the die. We have to create the mold if you want a specific size, or even if it's a round, we have to do like 39 millimeters, cut it into it, and then we have to pour it. So the first one's expensive because you're making these things for it. You're making molds and dies for it. After that, it becomes, you already have the molds and the dies, so you're just pouring. You're just pouring metal. So I don't know. A lot of people like Sunshine Mint, their art bars and stuff. I don't know what they charge, 1,000 to 2,000 for their front and bottom die.
Right.
We go up to 475 max is our largest die. Most of them we do for $175. And the graphite mold's pretty inexpensive. I mean, if it's a simple round, it's like $50. If it's something intricate, it might be upwards of 100.
Very cool.
All right. Just the metal. If you want to send the metal, I'll melt it and pour it. Otherwise, I can use my own.
Cool. All right. Silver Saber says that she's going to make a video of the ISS box as a compliment to your video. Very cool. All right. Thank you, Silver Saber. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Silver Saber. I appreciate it. And when you guys do that, if you have your channel subscribers, I'll give discount codes to them. I do it with SS. And we'll be doing that later with Salivate.
Speaking of which, guys, I forgot to tell you. I'm glad. Thank you, Michael.
Sure.
Stay tuned because at the end of this interview, we're going to be giving, or Michael's going to be giving out some discount codes, 2 of them. But you got to wait till the end. But they're going to be worth it. You'll definitely want to stick around for you guys that are interested in poured silver for sure.
Right. And just so you know, this week, because it's the holidays, and happy holidays, everybody, it's going to be a little slow. So put in your orders. But keep in mind, I'm usually a 1 to 2 day turnaround. It might be a week turnaround this time just because of the holidays.
Understandable for sure.
Yeah, just be patient. We'll get those out. Joey's going away, so
yeah. Anthony G,
you'll have me pouring, and Joey's better, so you want Joey's stuff.
Right. Anthony G's got a great question. Michael, what stamp and mold are you most proud of? That's an excellent question.
That is an excellent question. The stamp that I'm most proud of is our scarab beetle. I don't know if you've seen that.
Ooh, I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, we have a 3D scarab beetle stamp, and it looks really cool because it's really raised off the metal when you stamp it. So I'm proud of the scarab beetle. That was a 3D STL file, and I was figured out how to make 3D stamps. Most of the stamps now are 2D, and not all the 3D STL files work because a lot of them are corrupt, and I'm relying on other people. We buy our files, or we use open source files. I'm not good enough yet to make my own STL files, but some of them are corrupt, so you can't use them. But this STL file came out really, really nice.
Right.
I think they have them on Atmex right now. You'll be able to see them there. The scarab beetle, we have a 1 ounce and a 3 ounce. That's really cool. And what was the other question? There was 2 parts to that.
What stamp and mold are you most proud of? I guess that's the same. I think that's just a question.
Well, we do molds. I'm really probably most proud of our big kilo molds, because those take forever to cut, like 22 hours. So we have a skull. That one's somebody else's, but we have a 10 ounce in there that we cut. That's a skull and crossbones. I'm kind of proud of those because we break a lot of bits, and that's costly. Just kind of failing. We've broken a lot of CNC machines that had to go back to the manufacturer.
Right.
So I got a second one. I'll probably get a third and a fourth. And that's why I say, if you want to commercialize, you got to put your money back into it, because while machines are down, you're out of business.
Right.
So you have to have a second and third one. I was lucky enough to fix this other one here. The spindle froze, and so I don't know how I just fumbled upon it. Took out the spindle, put some oil on it,
right,
unfroze it, and worked it, and it's working. It's the noisy one, so you see my videos, it's really noisy.
Yeah.
But you either have to pay somebody to fix it, like my vacuum for my fiber laser graver is next door at one of the other. This is a commercial complex, so one of the other commercial people are fixing it, and we pay a lot of money to fix stuff unless we can do it ourselves.
Nice.
And even if I have Joey or myself fix it, that's time that we're not creating or designing.
Right. All right. Well, let's try to move ahead here. Thank you. Good thorough answer. Tricky guy ask, are there any artists who make their main living designing and pouring? Is it a career? As you kind of have talked about that this is your career.
Well, this is my career. Yeah. My source of influence was Jaeger-Port Silver.
Right.
I did a coin show about 4 or 5 years ago in which I went around to the booths to the coin shop saying, hey, I see you have Jaeger-Port Silver stuff. What about MK Barz? So you got to be a little bit of a salesman in there too. So I walked, and the lady behind the booth, she says, well, you're really rough. Jaeger-Port Silver's an artist. You're rough.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, okay, well, he did take some of my stuff and sold it. And so I dedicate myself to be my roughness, but kind of more refined. You have to grow and you have to get better. I mean, people are paying a lot of money for this stuff. Art, you're not stacking between the weights. And I do that too. But it's art and people want it to look nice. So, I mean, guys, if you have a double stamp, I had a customer, hey, this is double stamped on 3 pieces, send them back. Here's the return label. I'll re-stamp them and do it again. So I understand. No 2 pieces are alike, but yes, if we're off on the art, we're off on the stamping, call us on it. Jaeger-Port Silver was my inspiration to make products more diversified. I wanted to become the largest manufacturer of hand-poured silver shapes and designs, period. And so that's why I invested in the knowledge of learning these other things and being a one-stop shop.
Right.
David Jaeger-Port Silver, thumbs up, buddy. You're my hero.
Nice, cool. Well, thank you. And again, those that want to ask questions, type 3 carats. That's the Shift 6 key.
Likes it rough. What Donald in New Mexico? That's horrible.
Yeah. Michael from Silver Saver, do you think that your business is a threat to the small pourers?
I have a feeling it is, just by the outreach of the smaller pourers. I don't want to be a threat, and I'd like to do stuff with people. I've started doing things with Gary Mark and Cannibal Hector and Mike. Mike over at Mag Metals. I like, and I originally started with YPS doing a joint bar. I like to do joint stuff because I don't want it to be scary. Because look, I'm in my 50s, not to give them my age, but I'm not going to do this forever. I mean,
Right.
maybe my kids will take it over, maybe they won't. Maybe Joey will decide he wants a business, but I'm not going to do this forever. So everybody behind me needs to grow. I mean,
Right.
not that you're doing anything bad. I mean, a lot of your work is better than mine, but you're able to do one piece here, one piece there. I'd love to see people grow and commercialize. I don't mind helping or being a mentor. And some people don't want to get big, but is it a threat? I guess so. Not by me. Maybe by the smaller borrowers. I don't know. I hope you don't feel threatened, because I'm not here to take your clients, steal your money.
Right.
There's been occasions where I've had, and I make so many designs that are similar to other people's, so they call me out on it. There's been companies that I've gotten the technique from. Mutiny Metals, I guess he might have blocked me on Instagram. He's the one that started stamping the bars first, not me.
Right.
I haven't done anything first, but maybe the lost. Oh, sorry, that's my phone scared me. The lost wax process. I started that, and I'm out of it now. So
Right.
I can learn from everybody. I can learn technique on polishing and stuff. We're more commercialized now, so our stuff is going to be a little rougher, and our techniques aren't going to be really cool, like Barely Living. Have you seen his stuff, man?
Yeah.
Barely
Yeah.
Living, Will's Attic. That
Oh,
stuff is
yeah.
amazing,
Right.
amazing.
Right.
When I did the lost wax process, I called Will's Attic, or talked to him, and I said, "Hey, how do you do this? How do you do that?" Don't be afraid to talk to somebody, because that's how you learn. If you grow bigger than me, God bless you. And if you get bigger than me and you want to help me out, and I'm on the small end later on, hey, make a MK Barz piece. I'm cool with that.
Right. That's
I don't
cool.
mind people having similar designs as me. In fact, there's a guy on eBay that parts for less. He does molds. Well,
Right.
guess what? 5% of my molds are his,
Right.
and somebody else's as well. I mean,
Yeah.
some of the stuff I do is going to be inherent in anybody else's work that buy the same molds. And that's kind of also why I went into my own molds. I don't want to be exactly like everybody else. And if I make designs, because there are vector files out there that are free, Shutterstock, uh,
Right.
we may make the same vector file.
Right.
So I try and incorporate 2 or 3 or 4 different vector files into a piece that I do, so it's harder to be like everybody else. But
Right.
yeah, the little guys, I love you guys, man. That's where I started, in my garage.
Right.
You
That's
should
cool.
be proud of yourself, and you should be happy with the work you do. And some
Awesome.
of the work you do is much better than mine.
Man, wow. Well, that's cool, man. Thank you. And you sort of touched on this, so you don't have to spend too much time on it. But Silver Wolverine wants to know, how would someone go about getting a channel bar made?
Just contact me at
Yeah.
Michael at mkbarzandbullion.com.
Yeah.
Right,
Cool.
Michael.
All
Yeah,
right.
Michael MK. Just contact me through my website.
Right.
My number's on my business card. If anybody's done business with me, it's 818-625-9787.
Awesome. Cool. All right.
That's my cell phone. Call me anytime. You can text me on that. People
Um,
hit me up.
Alan Gold, our resident troll here, who we like to have fun with him. Oh, Alan Gold. I'll go ahead and address this, because he says, when was your first payment to Sal? He's saying, but over the ISS stuff, it was actually
in November.
In November, that's right.
You just got one the other day, right?
I just got one the other day. So and it's
they're small. They're small because somehow, some way, we just didn't get a following. But I'd love to see it grow. I'd love to see it. I really would love to see everybody making money off channel bars. I mean, you guys do a lot of content. You make it off YouTube, but why shouldn't you make it off your own product?
Right. Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, it can't be a lot. It's got to be a little bit. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Everybody has their hand in it, right? The designers, whatever.
Yep.
If I buy a design, I buy a design. If I make it myself, I make it myself, and it's cheaper. But
yep. And and that's part of the transparency of it. It's like, I think the International Silver Syndicate it's a program, and it benefits obviously the company MK Barz and the channels who are associated with it.
Right.
But it's another option. It's another option to acquire poured silver in a subscription type form that for those who enjoy that type of thing and those who enjoy poured silver. Obviously, some people it's not their thing, and that's okay.
Yeah, if it's not your thing, it's okay. I just wanted to be different. I didn't want to have regular bars in my safe. I wanted to combine the early commemorative type art with silver, and I have done gold as well and copper, but I wanted to combine the two and make it kind of a piece you can talk about. You don't have to keep this in your safe. It's not like a precious coin where you can't touch it. I buy mine in all PCGS holders with CAC authentication anyway, so I pay a fortune for my stuff because I pay for the services. But guys, you can touch this, you can play with it, you can bring it out, you can have it for your kid. We can make it. I can't really commercialize it, but people make Donald Ducks and make
watch
Star Wars stuff.
Last video, you see the silver he got and what he played with. It was great. Loved it.
We can make anything. I can make anything. I can make the Peanuts characters. I can't sell it because I'm a company and my company's registered, and I don't need to be sued by these bigger companies. But it is available. There are little guys that can do it for you or may do it for you. I don't recommend it because you're going to get a letter one day. But
that leads to a question from the Stacking Nerd. Asked that very question. But before we get to her question, I'm going to thank Gold Hunter Silver Finder for the super chat donation. Appreciate that, my friend.
Cool. Very cool.
The Stacking Nerd says, any plans to make licensed 3D bars such as gaming, franchise, movies, TVs, pop culture? You just touched on that just a second ago.
Yeah, I've reached out to licensing. Basically, the licensing that I might be doing is with sports. Sports related. I mean, I've done, coins. This is, I don't know, let me see. Herm Edwards, Arizona State University's new head coach.
Okay.
This is a Trident. So, I'm thinking about doing collegiate stuff and like Rams or wherever you're at if you're a fan of it. But you have to pay big money. I mean, this is 15% right off the top.
Right.
And then we've done our own coins. Shire Post Mint did actually the dies for this before we did. He actually did this one too before we started doing our own dies.
Right.
So shout out to him. But yeah, licensing, it depends on who you license, but it can be quite costly. So somebody might take 30-40% of the cut right off the top, and you're the one making the product, and you're just getting money. So that's what licensing is all about. You gotta pay for other people's content. So if it's feasible, I'll do it.
Right. Very cool. Let's see here. Let me find some other stuff. Andrew Jenkins. Let me see here if I make sure I got. Let's see here. Oh shoot. Let's see here.
Because he wants 30% for customs. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute here. I think I missed a bunch. It jumps when people type sometimes.
I have time. The guys here, the workers, the employees, they're going to leave about 4:30, but I'm good till 5:30.
Okay. The Silverman,
do you personally
have any gold? Do you personally have any gold?
I do. I have probably 100 ounces of gold that I hoarded. And I stack it, stacking weight gold. I don't have gold statues or anything except for the ones that I make, like the gold scarab beetles, things like that. I did make those. Atmix carried them for a while. Yeah, I stack. I have I don't know how many ounces of silver, how many ounces of gold, but I have precious metal. I have coins. I have and I like to collect Mint State 70 and Proof 70s, and if it's Franklin halves, I like the full bell lines, or I like the decams, and I like nice stuff, so I pay an arm and a leg for it, and I pay those services, extra money just to slab it. So. What else? I collect whatever I can. I mean,
that's cool.
Yeah, anything old, antique stuff like that. I love old stuff, antiques. I like art stuff.
Right. No,
like just a solid bar of silver. It's just it's just a bar of silver to me.
Sure. Right. Northeast has got a great question. He asked, how do you feel when you see people making a killing off your number ones in a series? And also, why does everyone say you guys never give away the number ones when I have some myself?
Well, we started keeping the number ones, and about halfway through, we just said, what do we keep them for? And I do notice that making killings off of that. The people that say you can't make money on poured silver, there are people making money on poured silver. I don't sell my number ones, but yeah, I do know people that have sold it and make 10 times what I sell it to them for. But why? Why? I don't have a problem with it. Look,
Right.
the market bears what it bears. I'm a manufacturer. If I wanted to sell my number ones, I'll sell them, and I'll ask for a markup too, as well. Because
Sure.
some of those number ones in the series, I only made 3, 4, or 5 of. Some I
Wow.
made 2 of.
Right.
So uh, make all the money you want. I mean, it's
That's what
democracy.
is there
We
for.
live in a democracy.
And by the way, just so people understand, the things like the ISS subscription or anything with related to poured silver, it's art. It's they're awesome pieces, but there's no promise that you're gonna
Right.
make any money on it. It's or recapture those premiums. So people understand that when you buy a poured silver bar, you're buying it for the beauty of it and the time and materials it takes to create it. But you can't expect that you'll always get that premium back. But what Mike's talking about here is there are some pieces that are highly sought after. And
Yeah.
sometimes if you're willing to take that chance, or if you got a particular piece that's number one, it may do well, it may not.
Hey, there's that Ric Flair. Remember, Sal? I told you.
Oh
That's
yeah,
my
yeah.
my troll. He found you.
Oh really? Oh shoot. Okay, well I'm not down there yet. I've gotten to the bottom yet. I'm still
Okay,
trying to
don't worry about him.
I'm keeping up with the comments here on the questions, but do you
Yeah, if I folded for everybody that said my stuff was rough, it's not worth the money, I wouldn't be in business, and I would have folded a long time ago. Same thing with the ISS.
he's
I
at the
don't quit.
bottom?
I
Let
don't
me
quit.
see.
I just keep making more.
Oh, Ric Flair. Okay, yeah. Okay, I see him. Okay. All right. Well, if you have a legitimate critical question, go ahead and ask, and we'll see if we can answer. But let me go back up here to the Chris Gardner wants to know if you have any platinum bars.
I don't. I haven't worked with platinum yet. I've worked with gold, silver, and copper. And by far, copper makes you the most money and is the hardest to work with.
Right. Adri Mike, can you create a theme for parents to play with their kids, like an animal farm or dinosaur statues? That's an interesting idea.
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, I don't do the lost wax anymore.
Yeah.
These little things like that come with the screws on the bottom and you got to cut off.
Right.
It's a hassle. It's a week. If you do one at a time, you don't do a tree. It's at least a week to do one piece. So now you understand why people charge. I was charging $80 to $100 an ounce on those.
Right.
Now there's companies doing for $30 an ounce. It's not
Yeah.
worth it anymore.
Right.
It's just,
Right.
the investment powder is carcinogenic anyway, so
Yeah.
it's not worth it.
Exactly. Andrew Jenkins, are there any of the early pieces that you wish you could buy back?
No, I wish there were a few that my wife didn't give away to
Yeah.
like my clientele, but
Right.
that's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
if I really wanted to, and I probably wouldn't do this if I was really in a pinch, I can always make a prototype. I've given Silver Slacker prototypes for doing so much, showing so much, but prototypes, and you can always, so your prototype comes before number one, right? I'm not going
Right.
to do that, but if I really was in a pinch and I needed to have that piece back for my kids or what have you, I'd just prototype it.
Right.
You
By
know?
the way, if you want to ask a question, put the carrots in there before the 3 carrots before the question. Steve Rice, what part of your business gives you the greatest satisfaction?
Oh, the greatest satisfaction I have is being around other people who enjoy it that work with me, and the biggest satisfaction personally that I get out of it is actually designing something and then seeing at the end it's a commercialized viable piece. It's has marketing behind it, and other people sell it and collect it. To me,
Right.
that's all there is. I mean, the love of that, just like I collected when I was a little guy. I collected coins that the mint made, and they were just so cool. And now those coins that were 20 years old are 50, 60, 70 years old, and I think it's just cool. I mean, you can hold a 100-year, 500-year-old coin in your hand,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that is cool. I mean, you can't make that. It was made. It's done, and you have one. That's what's cool about it. That's what gives me the most pleasure. Seeing things that I've made, other people have, other
Right.
people
Right.
hold.
Cool. Awesome. Awesome. Very good. Let's see. Okay. I think we're caught up on it. If I've missed a good question, retype it. Just put the carrots in front of it.
I bought a Kit Kat a few years ago, and it looked like a banana. That's
Yeah.
Ric Flair.
Yeah, Ric Flair. Yeah, yeah.
You know, in the beginning, Ric Flair, some of my stuff might have looked like bananas, but I was learning too.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Silverback Stacker, do you like carrots?
Yeah. You know, I can't eat too many carrots because Joey, it's okay. Joey, say hi, Joey.
Hi.
That's
Hi,
Joey.
Joey.
Joey's our 3D sandcast extraordinaire professional.
Sweet.
All right, he's going back to work now. But yeah, hey Joey, thanks. Yeah, everything's done. Cool for that next order. Cool. All right. Thanks, Joey. Have a good trip. So what was that last question? I'm sorry, I got off track.
Well, yeah, you answered about carrots.
Oh, I like carrots, but I have to eat them shredded because I have. I don't know if anybody else has that. What's called Crohn's disease, which is
Yeah, that's no fun.
immune. Yeah, it messes with your immune system, particularly your intestines. And I had part of my intestines removed, and the part that's fused together or sewn together is scarred, so I can't eat raw vegetables
Right.
or things like corn, kernels and stuff like that. Because if it gets lodged in there, I'm going back for another surgery. So I love carrots, though, to answer your question.
Yeah, cool. All right. Now this is something that's really got me upset. I'm highly triggered now, Michael.
Are you?
And I want you to counsel me on this one.
Sure.
Alan Gold hopes that I slip and trip and fall into a wood chipper before Christmas.
That's not nice.
think I'm gonna cry now. I think, and
I think we should make a molten lava silver sundae out of him.
there you go.
Pour it on his head. We got all the tools here.
Just like in Game of Thrones, right? Yeah.
Right.
Silver Saver wants to know, how many hours do you put in a day in your work?
Not well. I tried to cut the hours back, but I work 6 days a week. I work a lot of Saturdays, so I may spend in the beginning. I was actually not sleeping to get AppMex orders out because I didn't have anybody working for me, and I committed to orders, so I wasn't sleeping. So 24-hour days in the beginning. Now I like to work maybe like 8 hours, but I'll work 6 days a week.
Now if Silver Saver were to ask me that question, I would say that in a full
24 hours.
I would actually say for me, I do about 15 minutes of actual work per day.
Yeah, but you know, you're answering questions and talking to people. I didn't even think about that. Besides the stuff here, I mean, I'll have clients or customers or people that I talk to via text message constantly in the middle, not in the middle of the night, but at midnight or 11, I can't even watch my shows and stuff. So,
right.
You know, I have clients in Australia and China and they have strange hours in the UK. And so I find myself not being able to relax a lot. So if you count all those hours, it's probably a 15-hour gig a day.
Right. Wow. Mudswat, I was wondering if you could make a small sterling bar. I have some scrap 925. I want it made into a bar.
Yeah, that's not a problem. I don't like to work with sterling. I like to work with 3.9s, but I'll be happy to do that. The last person that I had give me their sterling and said, my dad bought these. Can you melt them down and make a guitar out of them? I did that, but they weren't sterling. So, you may want to test them first because I gave them back a lump that wouldn't melt. It was probably sterling over copper. I don't know what it was, sterling over nickel. So I had to use my own metal. But yeah, I have no problem doing that.
Right. Anthony G got my joke about 15 minutes of actual work a day. And does it get any better than when Michael, what's his name? Oh my gosh, I forgot a guy's name.
My name?
No, not you, Michael.
Oh,
the singer. Dang it! When he
Michael.
sings "A Man Loves a Woman," when a man loves a woman.
You got me.
Michael Bolton. That's it.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it. But Anthony G wants to know if you have a plan in terms of how many different designs you want to release per month, per year.
I try and do probably 3 a day, and of those 3 a day, I probably release. Now I've gotten busy with the subscriptions, but before that, I was doing 3 a day, and I was probably releasing 1 a day on Instagram. And what I'd like to do is probably do 10 a month.
Right.
10 new products a month.
Wow.
Because look, I mean, I make all these products, and look what AppMex carries. I mean, my original goal was to have them carry all my stuff, but they don't.
Right.
They'll carry maybe 1 out of every 20 I send them, 1 out of every 30. And then the other company like the Coin Shop, they give a shout out to if you want to get my metals cheap, if BGA inexpensive, I should say. BGASC metals, the
Right.
Coin Shop in Canada, Atmex, who's my first wholesale customer, they carry it. It's inexpensive, but you don't get a certificate of authenticity. I like to send them with each one when they buy direct, and you won't get the variety. So I have people ask me all the time, well, they sell it for this. Can you just sell me anything I want for that? Well, I can't, because at that point there, I'm pretty much moving the metal to create cash flow. And at that price point there, there's no profit in it. So
Right.
I can't just sell everything I have at those type of prices. But if you want them inexpensively, I suggest you go there. They carry a nice selection.
Nice. Speaking of profiting, I'm going to take Alan Gold's image and personality and make t-shirts, mugs, poured silver, coins, and profit off of his name, and he'll get nothing out of it. I don't think that'll be fun.
We can just do his name in a graphite mold.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
mean,
And
yeah,
and
we
he'll
just
get
call
none of the profits. I'll get all the profits, and I'll be able to keep it all. And you too. You can make money off of it too, Michael.
I'll just pay me for the metal on my cost, and you can have all his bars. I don't even know who he is. Who is
Nice.
he?
He's my little pet troll here. He
Alan
like to have
Gold.
fun with Alan
So
Gold.
can you imagine if I made a bar of Alan Gold or all the other trolls and they don't like it? What are they going to say?
Right? I know exactly.
I
Right.
look like shit.
Exactly. That's right. Northeast says, Mike, is eBay store or website better profit for you, based not just on margin but on volume as well?
No, it's worse. My website's actually better on profit. I'll tell you why people don't understand. On eBay, you have to pay 10% for PayPal and selling fees. They collect that total combined about 10%. And then I started doing free shipping, so I lump that in, and there goes what 12-15% right off the top.
Yeah.
So that's and it's not 30. I used to do $32 an ounce. It's like probably closer to 28 now. That $28 an ounce becomes closer to 20. And I pay over spot for my metal, and then I got to pay all the employees, and I got to pay. They want to get paid,
Right.
and then I got the leasing of the equipment and the foundry lease and insurance costs. I have to have insurance in case someone hurts themselves. So yeah, it really is just more of it's a cash flow thing. You just want to get your product out there.
Right.
I understand when I was pouring in my backyard with one furnace, I could charge a lot less. I mean, my house, which I was paying, the mortgage anyway,
Right.
was my rent expense. So,
Right.
I could take what, $1 or $2 off the bar just there. So, everything's relative. If you grow bigger, you got to charge more, unfortunately.
Yep. At least until you grow into it and get, pay off some of the leases and things like that. Silver Saver, we actually answered some of this question earlier. Does your wife and children help out in the business? And they do, right?
Yeah. My wife's not very good at pouring, and she's definitely not good at stamping. So if you get a double stamp, she might have done it. But, the best one there was me. Now Joey surpassed me. I mean, the kid's got skills, and he's very, very detail oriented. So, when I try and get through things in a timely manner, he might spend, all day doing, figuring out how to do something sandcast, because when you have things and holes and things you have to sandcast, it's hard getting all the pieces of the artwork that you want on a 3D image. It takes time. So, Joey wants to get paid too. So
exactly.
And so does my daughter, who got out of college. So we pay everybody, and then of course I got to pay myself, and got to pay our bills and stuff, and everybody has that in life. So you guys all have to manage your own lives like a business too. So if you have more debt than you have income, problem, right?
Exactly.
Eventually.
Chris Garner, do you have any hobbies outside of silver, pouring silver?
My hobbies are, I love sports, but my hobbies were coin collecting. And and I say were because I sold a lot of my coins to help out with the business.
Right.
I had the whole collection of early commems too, in MS65 and better. But I recently sold them through heritage auctions, so that I could keep the business going, keep the business afloat. So it's constant juggling of money and what are my hobbies? I like to eat. I like good food. I like sports. I like action movies and comedy movies. Otherwise, I get bored if it's like a documentary.
Nice. How about the heavy metal band Propane? Do you like them?
I don't even know who they are. I have
Oh,
propane tanks out here though.
that's cool.
I like classic rock.
Oh, cool. All right, cool.
Yeah.
As you guess, I like heavy metal.
Yeah.
Tricky guy says, do you hedge your metal so that the price rises and falls don't impact your profitability? Great question.
No, I don't. I'm not big enough to do well. I'm closing in on that cap. I'm not really big enough to do that. We push about 5 to 10,000 ounces of metal through here a month, so we're getting there. We're probably about there, but I don't. I mean, I know those large companies do that so that they can sell, between the margins and not worry about the price fluctuating.
Right.
But you know what? I think silver's inexpensive enough right now that there's limited downside risk for me. And I'm at the advantage where if I don't like something, I can always remelt it and repour it. And the cost, I have to pay, the wages cost to redo
Sure.
that again. But
Right.
if I have something back here that I bought it at $20 an ounce and I sell it now, I lose money. But if I have something back there that I bought it at 14 and change an ounce and I sell it when it's at 20, I can I can make money that way. So I figure the market will take care of itself. Now, if silver was at $40 or $50 an ounce, yeah, I probably better be hedging and stuff like that.
Right.
But
Right.
right now, I think downside's not too much. And if the business doesn't make it because of something like that, it doesn't make it. And I have a lot of product I can sell later on.
Yep.
So,
Cool. All right. Chris Garner says, any chance of silver dice?
um, yeah, I did that when I was doing the lost wax, and we can do it with sand casting. Um,
That would be
but
kind of cool, actually.
it is cool. There's a lot of people that make them and some, make some really nice ones. But we've done it before. But to roll it out on a commercial level, it may not make a whole lot of sense.
Right.
With through making one and then maybe one of the circles on the six doesn't come out, so now you have two fives. It just it may not be conducive, but I can do it for myself, like a one off here and there, or for somebody else. Yeah.
Right, right. Cool. All right. We're going to take a couple more questions. Some of the questions are kind of are from people that have come in late, so they're asking some of the same questions.
Okay.
And some of these questions are more specific. And I would say if you have specific questions for Michael, is to contact him privately. He's open to your questions. So let's see. We're going to try to find. So if I don't answer your question, it's because of we've already covered it. But let's see here, and we do want to wrap this up here. Um, Silver Saver, if the business does not pay rent anymore, will you continue to pour? I would guess probably, not at the level you're doing it now, right? Probably.
The
You
business
can't
doesn't
pay
pay
rent,
rent. You mean if I don't have my foundry right now and I go back to my garage?
I
I mean,
guess. Yeah, it's
if I go back to my garage, then it'll just be a smaller operation and
yeah,
prices will be lower, and I'll still pour for fun.
right, right.
But this is my livelihood now. I
Yeah,
mean, I went to college. I graduated. I somehow got stuck in the car business and made a career out of it for 24 years, and
yeah,
I don't know anything else. So now this is my career. I mean, so I got to keep it going for all the people that are relying on me.
right. Cool. All right, let's see here. All right. I think we are. Thank you for that. I'm just looking here to see if there's anything else here. Any other questions? Anything else? And I'll just say this as far as price about a pricing for any kind of product. Obviously, the free market. I love how the free market works. If something is too expensive, well, people won't buy it. If the price is right and people understand the price and they like a product, they get it. I think that's the case with all kinds of
Sure.
struck silver, poured silver, low mintage, products, whatever. And that's kind of that's one thing I think that some people don't get in this business, and it's for regards to any and everything. For some people, I know for longest time, there was a coin that I liked that was a cool design, but I just wasn't going to pay $60 for it for this 1 ounce coin. But then there's another coin that was a 2 ounce coin that I'd pay $150 for because I liked it.
Right.
And I think that's a thing where the market is, and I think that's something that should be said. I think for going forward here. Okay. Okay. Oh, Oaksy's got a good question here. Have you had any big accidents when pouring?
Yeah, I've had a couple. I had this finger stitched up when I was. This one's crooked and this one's
Oh
not.
yeah, I see that.
This thing, yeah. I had. I was in a rush and I was buffing out a copper skull, a kilo,
Right.
and I had the Dremel on high speed, and the bit busted. First, the speed was so high it bent. They bend, and then it busted off, and it sliced my finger, hit my
Ooh.
chest, went up to the light. It was a flush point,
Whoa.
broke that, and then Joey's like looking at me, and I'm sitting there bleeding all over the place, so I had to go to the
Wow.
emergency room.
Oh
Joey's
my
looking at
God.
me, and I'm like, I think that's gonna hurt, Joey. I think it's a
Yeah.
bad one. So yeah, you can get hurt, and you know that I put my whole arm down on a hot crucible. I mean, the furnace was up to 2,000 degrees, so I had a circle from the crucible here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
there's all sorts of things you can do. We get cut all the time. Cuts, pieces of metal that get lodged in our, into our finger like a splinter. It
Yeah.
happens all the time. In your eye, we get stuff in our eyes, dust. So
Oh man.
yeah,
Yeah. Be careful.
it's
Yeah.
just part of the process, part of what you do. There's
Yeah.
lots of people that out there that do a lot of things that can be scary and hurt themselves. So it just happens, part of the process. But yeah, those are some things we did.
Swerge Duck ignored Sal ignored my questions. Yeah, they were in German. Silver Saber says, "Good luck and more power to you, Michael. Love your products." Steve Rice,
Thanks,
what's your
Silver
question?
Saber. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Steve Rice asked my question. I'm not sitting through. What was your question, Steve Rice? I didn't see your question. There may be some questions that I missed, but
Oh, Adrian Sands on here now. I just saw
okay.
him.
Yeah, Steve Rice asked a specific question. Ask that question to him. Contact Michael if you have specific questions. You got to ask him. We
Yeah,
don't.
if it's specific and you need it, you want to know something. I don't have a problem telling you.
All right, let's see. Do you
Yeah,
think the new law? Let's see. Okay.
unless of course it's really personal.
Yeah. Let's see here. What's the worst customer you've come across? Says Oaksy88.
I've had customers that if you make a bad product, they go on social media and it's not good. So I learned a long
Right.
time ago, hey, just take it back, give them the money back, take it back, fix it, whatever you have to do, just spend the money. We spend so much on shipping costs. Sometimes we spend on shipping costs 2 or 3 times for the same piece, just so it's
Right.
perfect. So that all goes into it as well. But yeah, you don't want to mess with people's money. If you make something for them, they pay for it. If they don't like it, take it back.
Right.
Good
Right.
lesson for everybody. Take it back because word of mouth can kill you. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
it's bad. I mean, and then of course you have these trolls and stuff like that are always going to be trolls, but I think they don't realize that they're helping out my business instead of hurting it.
Okay. All right. Well, Steve, if you want to ask your question again, I'll read it. I must have missed it. Adrian, Mike, I just ordered. As soon as it arrives, I'll make one of a kind pirate silver video. Let everyone know so people come check out the bars. Cool. All right.
I appreciate it, man. He's been making some videos. I've never asked him to do that. He's
Yeah.
just really cool. He asks me lots of questions. I'm happy to answer them just like I am with everybody else. And yeah, go check him out. Check out his videos.
Jesse Folk says, "What's the most weight you can pour at once?" That's a good question.
It's 1 kilo to 3 kilos.
All right. Very
So about almost 100 ounces.
awesome. Awesome.
Although I can light up 2 or 3 machines at the same time with 100 ounces, and 3 people can just run and pour into a big mold. If we sandcast something large, just take their tongs and their crucible, and everybody just pours into it. We can do it all at the same time. So I probably we can do it. The sky's the limit. It's just how
Yeah.
much does somebody
Yeah.
want to spend.
And Nautical Silver, he answered that at the beginning of the interview. It's worth checking out afterwards. You can see the replay of that, how he learned to pour, and then
Trial
Silver
and
Matt.
error. Yeah.
Yeah, you can contact him about the graphite mold. We answered that. Silver Wolverine. We haven't got a whole lot of flack on this interview. I don't want to kind of rehash the ISS haters type thing. But I just so you know, we gave any opportunity for anybody who had legitimate criticism of any of the programs or any of the pricing or anything like that. They could have come in and asked questions. And so if they do have any questions about it, they can certainly ask and we'll answer it. And hopefully when they see this interview and understand the process involved, they'll understand the pricing model and understand what it's about. And that there's nothing wrong, by the way, there's nothing wrong with making money, and there's nothing wrong with offering a product that to the community that people will enjoy. But also understanding that not everybody likes some types of silver products. I mean, that's a beautiful thing about silver. It comes in many different forms, from bars, cast, poured, sand cast, struck pieces, coins, it's shot. It comes in many different forms. So, but anyway, so let's see here. Okay, what's next?
Some of the most expensive vintage poured bars are just little rectangles with stamps of mints that aren't around anymore.
Right.
I have a collection, of vintage poured bars, Foster's bars, Doyle's Mint. Some of these things I pay $100, $200 over spot an ounce. So
right.
These are just regular bars. You're paying for their logo.
Right. All right. And again, if you want to ask a question, put three carats in front of the question, so I know to look for the question. Julian Bullion says coupon code. We're gonna get to the coupon codes here in just a moment.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a couple more questions. If anybody has any critical questions or anything, put 3 carats before your question, and we'll take them. Let's see here. 2 big girls. Great success story, Michael. I'm glad you entered the market. I wish you and your family all the best. Well, that's very nice of you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, we can't do it without everybody else that has gotten into this.
Right.
Even just people that are poor that don't buy our product brings attention to the community and then what we do. And everybody's to contribute, and we appreciate y'all.
Steve Rice, if I send you a Cyclops design, can you give me a ballpark price as to the cost of getting a mold made?
I can, but one thing you have to do is I don't do STL files, so you're going to have to go on Fiverr or Thingiverse and buy it from somebody, have them make it for you.
Right.
But the STL file needs to be free of any bugs. Otherwise, I have to try and fix it myself, and that takes a lot of time, and then it gets more expensive. So the mesh, I don't know if you know, STL files are made with like triangles.
Right.
So 3D, they're all triangles, and sometimes the file is way too big, so I have to cut it back. So I have to go on a mesh lab. And
it's a TIN network, right? It's triangulated integrated network. I think that's what.
Yeah, I think it's called polygonal mesh, but they're all triangles, and sometimes you have overlapping triangles, and then I can't even. They won't even work the file. So get with somebody that's good at making files. You're gonna have to pay for it, and then send it to me, and I'll be happy to do it for you. I mean, sometimes I get files off of like free share or shareware, and sometimes I have to pay for files, and they become expensive to make unique pieces. So
and your email, Silvermac wants to know your email. Quick.
Michael at mkbarzandbullion.com. Barz is with a Z.
Cool.
Michael at mkbarzandbullion.com.
Chris Garner, I'm going to post a video tomorrow that shows a tour of the operation. And so check that out. What's your favorite piece, really quickly, Michael, that you poured?
That I poured? I probably have to say Walking the Plank.
Cool.
Those are some sand cast pours of my brother-in-law's resins that he made for me of skulls.
Right. Hedgehog wants to know, have you made jewelry?
I have. I'm not very good at it. And again, you're dealing with the lost wax process, and you have to make a tree with all the little rings on it or whatever. So it's just not something I do. I'd rather deal with bullion. I can sand cast them. You can also make rings in cuttlefish bone. You cut it in half and put, no, I don't do jewelry. I may make my pieces and then adhere a loop to it.
Right.
If you want to call that jewelry, kind of like bullion wear.
Okay, here's somebody that didn't use the carrots. Let me see if I can find it here. But he's one that was critical. We want to give him a chance, even though he didn't use the carrots. Bullion Bouncer asks, "Are you selling silver to preserve people's wealth?" We talked about that earlier.
Well, we talked about that. I believe that precious metals are a way to preserve your wealth. I mean, if you're investing in precious metals because you think you're going to make a fortune because silver is going to skyrocket, that's your own business. I
Right.
just, I invest in it to keep it out of the sidelines. If you got money in the stock market, the market crashes, it holds it's a hold of value, a store of value. So
Right.
no, I mean, it will preserve wealth, I guess, in a sense. Yeah, I mean, you could say
Yeah,
that, but
the metal itself will preserve wealth, but
yeah,
but I
but I don't preserve your wealth.
right,
For all
exactly.
we know, silver can go down to a penny an ounce, and then we all lost our wealth
Right.
and
And
skyrocket. It,
again, the thing about the premiums that people need to understand
the
is
art and the time involved to make the
yep, the labor involved and the equipment involved, and you're going to see that tomorrow in the video that I post. And the piece of machinery you see behind him costs $65,000. Um,
yeah.
so there's a lot of stuff involved. And so but no one's making any promises that you're going to recapture those premiums. You're buying it because of the artwork involved, because you enjoy it. That's
Yeah.
the biggest thing. And Michael's an artist, and MK Barz does artistic pieces, and so that's kind of where the price comes into. If you want to buy low premium bars and rounds, you want to go to places like some of these other bullion dealers, probably
FX,
AppMed.
Provident, JM Bullion,
Yeah.
BGSE, the coin shop in
Right.
Canada, if you're in Canada. There's all sorts of places. Bullion exchanges is in New York.
Which is the beautiful thing about silver and gold, by the way. You can buy it in any form or different style you want to. You
Right.
can go to Tiffany's right now and pay $150 for a 5-gram paperclip. I posted a video about it. You should check it out. But
I wouldn't want to be in that business. Those guys work
oh, I know.
hard for their money. They're
Oh,
making 10 cents an ounce over spread. If they're paying spot for it, you gotta sell an awful lot of that to pay all your employees and all your infrastructure costs on your website, stuff like that. And then they have huge backers with huge credit lines. I
right.
mean, you just did one on Republic Metals and that credit line. What was it? What was that person with that credit line? When the cash flow stops, the good silver deals are going to start going away.
Yeah.
So get your metals now. That model can't last forever, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. You can't make pennies on something and then pay all your laborers and your rents and your marketing and your advertising. There's only one of two things. You either have to be buying way below spot, which you see what's happening to these companies that do that. And Northwest Territory I'm in, and some of them have gone out of business, right?
Yeah. All right. Really quick. Let's kind of go through these really quickly here, because we do want to wrap this thing up here pretty soon. Do you have a brick and mortar or just online?
I don't have a brick and mortar. It's just online.
Okay. Do you have a picture of the walk the plank piece?
Maybe on my phone.
Okay.
I don't have it right here with me.
Yeah. And your website doesn't automatically reflect spot price, does it? Probably not.
No, it has a little ticker up there, but it won't go up. It won't go up and down with spot price. But walk the planks on there. I mean, everything we have should be on the website.
Right. Cool. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see here. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to catch as much as I can.
eBay. You can get good deals off of eBay when they have those e-bucks and stuff like that. Or sometimes eBay will put 15% on. You get some bullion. I think Silver Stacking Nerd is very good at keeping everybody informed about that. So if you guys want to get metal cheap and stuff like that, go for it. I mean, I collect constitutional silver. I have art bars. But I have my precious metals too. So
right.
My precious metals.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Very cool. All right. Well, I think we've wrapped up. I think we took as many questions as we could. We took critical questions. We took friendly questions. We took silly questions. We've been pretty open and transparent here. And some people will never be convinced, and that's okay. But it's that's the way the cookie crumbles. But hey, we appreciate it. And so now, by the way, we're going to give away, or Michael's going to tell us about 2 special coupon codes to enter on the website. And so, Michael, go ahead and tell them those.
Well, the first one, I want to do something special for you for taking your time. I mean, I know whatever, you monetize this, whatever, but for taking your time with me, and for all your viewers and the people that follow you, I wanted to make sure you're able to get 20% off what's available on my site. So this is limited to one per customer, and it's good until 3 a.m. this morning. So those who have come in late or haven't watched it or rewatched the video, it's 20% off, and it's live right now, and it will end at 3 a.m. And don't send me email. I missed it because I can't keep doing that. That's a lot,
Right.
To save on this
I'm going to
stuff.
put it
So
here in the chat.
the code is SAL20, SAL, and the number 20, all capitals.
There it
SAL20.
is.
There
Right.
it is.
All right.
And then I have another one, and I do this for Silver Slacker and people who showcase, my products, buy a lot of my products for their channel members. 10% off for through the end of the holidays. Through the end of the year, it'll be SAL10. So if you miss the 20% off, SAL10, SAL10, that's good on anything on the site. So the SAL20 though, I have taken off 3D cast because it's just too much, and I'm going to be gone for most of the week. But the SAL10 will be off on everything, and it'll be good through the end of the year.
There we go. All right.
So I didn't want to limit anybody on like Colonial Silver or some of these other people coming to channel. It's just everything. So
right. Cool.
Enjoy it. If you enjoy it, enjoy it.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. And again, just so people know, poured silver, and specialty silver products, that takes time and effort. And this is the kind of stuff that there's a higher premium to it. But Michael has kindly offered these codes here. And so you get a little savings if you enjoy it. But as I've always said, and I'll say it again, and that this is a specialty pieces, and they typically do carry a higher premium, and it's not for preserving wealth, except for the silver itself, the intrinsic value of the silver itself. And so I think most people understand that, and that's but there's some people, newbies should not be, if you're a newbie and you're getting into silver, educate yourself, watch a lot of YouTube videos, understand what is considered low premium, high premium, learn what spot price is, learn what typically shop around for the good deals out there. Poured silver is a more specialized area, and typically you will pay a bit higher, but very kind of you, sir, to offer these codes.
Oh, my pleasure.
And again,
don't buy it because you think you're going to make money off of it. Buy it because you like the art. Buy it because you like the designs. Buy it because it's not just plain, or it's not struck by a machine. Strikes 100,000 an hour. Because it's limited, because the time involved.
That's right.
Buy it because you like it, but you're not. Don't buy it just because you think you're going to flip it and make money off it. Because I don't want that to happen to you. Buy it if you like it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. I like it, so I buy everybody's. I'm a customer of everybody's at Port. So
right, and in terms of the International Silver Syndicate, that's a program that is for those who only enjoy the subscription type model.
Right, and supporting the channels. If you like the channels and want to support them, that's what that was for. That's to be involved in the community and to support the channels. Salivate Metal, he comes on here 2-3 times a day. Probably works a regular job and then comes and works all night putting out videos. This is his second thing that he wants to do. One, because he wants to inform people about a lot of things, which that Republic Metal thing is awesome, and a lot of people do. Support them. Support them. Don't even buy my silver from them. Support them. Buy a mug. Buy a T-shirt. Personally, I like metal instead of mugs and T-shirts, but support these guys.
And you know what? And here's the thing about it too. This is my channel. This is my second job. I do spend a lot of hours doing it, and things like the International Silver Syndicate, I'm honored to be a part of. But if nobody ever buys it, or I mean, if none of my subscribers are interested in it, that's fine. Or if anything, my content is free for anybody to watch. They don't have to click an ad. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to buy anything or whatever. But it's just another avenue. It's another way to be a part. If you're interested, if you're not interested, that's fine. It's not a problem. But again, thank you, Michael, and thank you for the code. Again, it's SAL20. up until 3 a.m. Is that
Correct.
Pacific time?
Yeah, it's live now. Has anybody done it? Is it working? I think Adri-san, anybody?
Sal 10 is good until the beginning of the year, right?
Correct. That will start at 3 a.m. and then go through the 31st.
Right. Cool. All right. Very good.
Right. So if that helps you out and that's good, go for
I think
it.
Alan Gold is going to wipe it. He's going to buy all the last remaining product.
I think I'm going to make an Alan Gold bar. That's a funny looking. What is that thing he has there? Is his face?
That is Kim Jong Un from that claymation movie. I forget the name.
I'd made it Kim Jong Un. He should have bought it. He didn't even buy that.
There you go. I'm going to profit off of Alan Gold's image, and actually, Michael has already done that. So this is great. We love to. We're gonna do it. It's gonna be fun.
Hey, if anybody wants a channel bar, I'll make it, and you can do whatever you want with it. You can tell me how to advertise or how you want to advertise it. If you want to make some money off it, if you don't, that's fine too. If you just want your bar, I did it before I started doing subscription services for a number of channels, and they come out pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll
get to see your name on the bar.
Kathy Griffin Privy, we'll do that. By the way, shout out to Yankee Stacker. He's got 1,000 subs, which is awesome.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
All right, very cool. Well, thank you guys. So let me type the codes in one more time. Sal 20, good up until 3 a.m. Pacific time.
Correct, 20% off.
And so there you go. Sal 10 up until the beginning of the year, December.
Starting at 3 a.m.
Starting at, there you go. All right, very good. Awesome. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. And Salivate Metal, thanks for having me on. I enjoyed this.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. We had a fun time.
All right. Bye, guys.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye now.